Welcome to Hotline TV, everyone. I'm Amy Walter.
And I'm John Mercurio. Later on tonight in this very Excel Energy Center, right back here, somewhere maybe behind those gates that they won't let
us in. Apparently, this doesn't get you that far. It looks good.
Apparently, the limited access pass
is limited.
is extremely limited. John McCain will be giving his acceptance speech for the presidential nomination, the Republican presidential nomination. A historic night, Amy Walter. What do you think he needs to do in order to really sort of seal the deal? Conservatives really rallying behind his running mate.
Yep.
But is she going to be too hard of an act to follow?
Well, he can't do what she did last night. He does not. Not only is he not a hockey mom, he should not wear lipstick.
True.
And he does not need to be a pit bull.
And he doesn't have 5 children.
So what he needs to do is to redefine. I don't know. We have to get. I'll get back to you. I'll have my aide look at that.
Sure.
Look into that. How
Please,
many houses? Here's what he needs to do. I think fundamentally he needs to start setting up the contrasts for the fall. Right? There's been a lot of back and forth about it, and a lot of chatter and a lot of just ambient noise. Now he needs to really focus on driving 2 messages. 1, he does have the experience that matters, and 2, that he is a maverick who's willing to break away from the Bush agenda.
Yeah.
I had a guy who was talking to us the other day who said, this speech should make me, as a partisan Republican, cringe. That's how strongly he needs to break away from Bush, which is tough to do when you got an audience that just laughed up.
Right.
Last night.
After last night, I actually think it's probably impossible for him to do that. Look, I mean, there's a formula, I think, that's been created. Oh, nice. There's a nice loud roller car driving by. There's a formula that I think's been created this week on the 3 days that they've held this convention. The successful speeches have been ones in which there was very partisan red meat, strong attacks on Barack Obama, and biographical sketches of John McCain. Some of them very repetitive, some of them going over the very same details about his 5-year imprisonment in Vietnam. I think those 3 things form the basis for what's made a successful speech, whether it was
But I think it's a successful speech in here. It's not necessarily a successful speech to people watching out there.
Right, but I think that's what he's looking for at this point. I think the McCain campaign has decided that this is going to be a base election. I mean, the choice of Sarah Palin was a base decision. It was a decision to motivate the base. It was not his decision to reach out to the independents.
Well,
who helped
she
him
should
win
be.
In New Hampshire.
She should be doing that. Ideally, she should be both, which is the maverick from Alaska rather than the pit bull. I mean, she played pit bull.
The speech that she gave last night
was very
specifically targeted towards that conservative base. And I think, frankly, if McCain wants to be consistent and appeal to those delegates, and to the base outside, he really does need to sort of do the same sort of thing, follow the same strategy that Romney, Huckabee, Giuliani, even to some extent, Thompson, Palin, and now him. Boom.
Right. Well, I just will respectfully disagree.
Please do.
Yeah, see, that's what's good. We got a little bit of back and forth here. I think the goal of putting her up there is, number 1, he realized that the experience thing and the attacks on the elitist and being a celebrity are only getting him so far. She is supposed to help deliver a message that says, I'm willing to go against my party. We heard a lot about that last night. She went against her party. She voted against the bridge to nowhere. She's willing to take on the establishment. That is the theme that he needs if he's going to win this election. Rallying the base when only 28% of voters right now consider themselves Republicans ain't going to win you an election.
The one thing I think we won't see, because frankly we haven't seen it really at all this week, is an effort to separate him from Bush.
That's right.
We haven't heard anyone say...
Not one specific thing.
Not one specific thing. Not one direct sort of open critique of the past 8 years that would imply that these are going to be different. I mean, I think that's a big mistake. I think that's a big part of the Democratic strategy going into the fall. So that would be something I think McCain, if he's watching this show today...
Because they are big fans. Big fans of the show.
Well, I know Steve Schmidt is, and I hope that
he's
Salter
watching.
and everybody else is as well. Anyway, if you're watching the show today, I would recommend you go out there, you take a picture of George W. Bush, and you separate yourself from that.
Like literally take the picture and then go like this?
I don't want to say rip it up. That would be disrespectful.
That would be.
It'd
be very Sinead O'Connor.
It would be very Sinead.
Very.
And on that
very
note.
Sinead. All right. Well,
this is.
I know we are really sad to be leaving the lovely Twin Cities, though they've been a bit chilly, as you can see.
But good people.
Very good people.
Cold hands, warm heart.
Oh, thank you. So next time we see you, we'll be chatting at you from our studio in Washington, D.C. Until then, goodbye from Hotline TV.
Have a good weekend.